Well, it is great weather for getting outdoors, so long as your feet don't hurt and they don't get in the way. We've got Jonathan Cotton here. He is the owner of the Good Feet stores, both in Hunt Valley and in Annapolis. How are you?
I'm doing great, Elsa. How are you today?
I'm happy to have you here. Fall is here. Let's just talk about some of your favorite fall activities.
Well, I tell you what, as somebody who just enjoy, people say all the time, fall's my favorite time of year. Well, of course it is. How could it not be when it's, 65 degrees outside instead of 95 degrees? But I think what kind of fall has up on spring is that we don't have all the pollen and everything else that we're dealing with often in the springtime. So it's just so fun to be able to get out there. I love running. I love to get out and get in a good run. And it's just so invigorating. It's not, again, not quite as a chore as it is in the summertime or definitely in the wintertime.
Yes.
But also just the things out, for me, it was always a pleasant memory, raking leaves in our yard growing up and just, and then with my kids and now my grandkids, you rake the leaves and they jump in the leaves and
Yeah.
do all those kind of things. It's so fun to be able to do those things and to be able to do them pain-free, Elsa.
Well, that's what I was going to say. We want to do all these things. And then as the years go on, there's something that happens. My knee hurts, my hip hurts, my feet hurt. There's always something. And a lot of these ailments can be tied right to our foot. And so what I've been told is that our feet need somewhat arch supports. Is that going to make a difference, really?
There you go. Yeah, you're going down the right path for sure. And I always said that when I was younger, it used to be so easy because you throw on your shoes, you run out the door, you go run, you come back, take a shower, and just be off to something else. And life was wonderful. And as time goes on, it doesn't work out quite that way. And what invariably happens is that when people start to feel pain, often they will their activity level will start to diminish. And we don't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen if you're 15 years old or if you're 50 or if you're 75, it doesn't matter. And the key is by having all four arches in the feet supported, that's really, really critical. Most people don't realize that you do. And that's what we do at the Good Feet store is really make sure that all those four arches are properly supported.
And can you use arch support in any type of shoe? I mean, for me, especially not just me, any person, we're wearing different types of shoes all the time. Your sneakers, your heels, your boots. Can we put them in all of them?
Absolutely. And that's what made me a believer. When I came in as a customer, lifelong runner, had pain, had the plantar fasciitis going on. I wanted something to put in my running shoes. Mm-hmm. And so I was fitted with the arch supports, put them in our running shoes, ran my first marathon that year. But then not only that, I found out that by putting them in my dress shoes, and I'd be going around New York City on the concrete and everything, just having my feet properly supported then. And I came back into the store after having those great experiences. And I told the owner at that time, I said, I've never had a product transform my life like this. And she said, you want to buy the place? And so here we are with store number 11 and 12 in the Baltimore area. Yeah, we're glad to be here.
That's amazing. Most of us would have just bought more arch supports, but that's okay. Buy them at times, that works too. But I do love that because we really do want to live an active lifestyle. We can benefit from these supports. I think, my own experience is that when I was carrying my baby, she's 8 yet now, but I did not realize all those summer months when you're heavily pregnant and you're wearing sandals, there's no support. So you feel all that in your body. So women, if you're watching right now, this might be a good idea is to gift that to someone because when they go to the Good Feet store, there's going to be an actual experience. This isn't a one-stop. I mean, it is one-stop shopping, but it's not a one size fits all, pun intended, but it's not. You're going to make sure that it works for the individuals.
Exactly. Elsa, you described it beautifully. It's not a grab and go type of process. It's really something that's highly consultative. We're going to sit down and really understand what's going on in your world. Yeah. Take the kind of the old fashioned measurements of the feet to make sure that we've got the right, the right arch support for you. And then, as you mentioned earlier, being able to go into those variety of different shoes. Mm-hmm. But you mentioned pregnancy. And often it can be, traced back to an event or some type of change or maybe trying to achieve something that we hadn't before that all of a sudden brings this issue to the surface. And that's where we want to step in and help people. Life's too short and have foot pain, Elsa.
It really is. And, you made a good point earlier too, that the foot is tied to so many other parts of your body that you really got to start from the ground up, literally. All right. So when people walk into your store, again, they're going to have this consultation with you, and then they'll be able to, how long does it take to get all the stuff that they need? Is it right on site or do they put it in order? How does it work?
Yeah. Great question. they will leave that day with kind of their whole system to be able to address the needs of the foot. But it's that process of being fitted, measured, fitted for it, and then being able to what we call have a free fitting and test walk. Try the product before you buy it. See how it feels. Walk around the store. So it's not a rush through, throw something in the bag and go and let's hope it works out. It's you being able to really experience it before you buy.
That is great. All right. So let's remind people again where they can visit you and visit these stores.
Sure. We're in the Hunt Valley Town Center. We opened that store back in September. And then in Annapolis, we'd love to have folks come out to visit us there in Annapolis for sure.
What an exciting time for you and exciting time for us. We can get some relief with all this pain. Jonathan Cotton, appreciate you being with us. And we'll be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.